There are many components within this non-defense discretionary part of the budget that I look at as ladders to overcome mobility barriers. And the more we squeeze that part of the budget, the less we'll be able to support that stuff. And I want to address very quickly some of the discussions that were brought up earlier around, is money the answer and what's the right metric and all of that. I'm going to send Gene a note on this later. I mean, my understanding is that he mentioned inflation. I mean, the caps on this, I'll get a little wonky myself here for a second. The caps on this NDD spending actually grow about 2% over the decade. Over the next decade, they're slated to that's baked into the cake, and that's about the projected rate of inflation. What they're not adjusted for is population growth. Yeah. And that's really important. And you can have this argument about, well, is this the right metric and are we throwing money at the problem? I think when you're talking about population growth, it's not rocket science. It's actually pretty simple. If you believe that Pell Grants are precisely the kind of mobility ladder that I think other panelists would probably agree they are, if you have more people, if the population is growing and you need them, then simply not adjusting this part of the budget for population growth is very problematic. And if you look, there's a lot of very optimistic and I think positive things coming out of this panel. I'm very happy to hear it. John and Mona in particular, I thought were raising very good and real things to feel somewhat hopeful about. But as we speak, there are powerful forces trying to cut the heck out of this NDD side of the budget, and I think that's very much poverty-inducing, particularly over the long term vis-a-vis this linkage between inequality and mobility that Bell has stressed. Grants to school districts, direct benefits like WIC, Head Start, Pell Grants, childcare, health centers, job training, Meals on Wheels, assisted housing. That's what's in this NDD. Part of the budget. Pell Grants in particular are vulnerable to further cuts. So we can't squeeze that part of the budget anymore. And by the way, on the messaging, we really need to find a better way to talk about this because the White House, and I was there at the time, used to brag, we're taking NDD down to the lowest level since Eisenhower. Nobody knows what NDD is, and probably nobody knows what Eisenhower is. So, and it's a weird bragging point anyway, because it's not a good idea.